And welcome to Small Business Day Magazine Talk Show
On the
SBT Magazine Radio Network. Did you miss us? Well, it's been a while. It's been a while since we did a live broadcast, but here we are at the top of 5821 Southwest Freeway in our office building, and we are back on the air, huh, Barbara?
I know, it's long overdue.
Long overdue, and this is a special occasion because we're doing it here at the IFWAA offices.
Which are one of our advertisers
One
in
of
our
our advertisers in
magazine.
our other magazine, Health Under Government
Employment.
If you're not familiar with Small Business Day magazine, we are a publication for and about aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners. And the centerpiece of the magazine is a cover story about somebody who's built a successful business practice here in Houston and now serves as a role model for others. The criteria for the cover honor, which Barbara's holding up, has more to do with the quality of individual than their particular level of success. It's about their philanthropy, it's about their inspiring story, and again, them being a role model. You'll be nominated by one of our Publishers Advisory Board members and voted on by 10 to 12 board members I select at random. And they can vote yes, no, or undecided. Undecided in my favor. And yes, people turn down. I had a couple of hail no's, H-A-I-L.
We won't, I have no idea those are.
We won't go into who.
Right.
But anyway, that's the magazine, and we have 65,000 online readers. Only print about 300 to 400 copies depending on the events coming up. And for subscribers who prefer the hard copy. And we also have an event company, do lunch and learns and things. But we're here with the remote broadcast. We want to thank Mr. Jerome Davis, engineer extraordinaire, for putting together the audio link and the new video with the new camera. Am I on? I hope so. Anyway, who's our guest today, Barbara?
Our guests today are Linda
Yes.
Nuquim, who has served as the chair for the Mayor's International Trade and Development Council for Africa, that's MITDC Africa, and actively participates and leads the Arts, Culture, and Community Relations Committee. The MITDC Africa expands the constructive dialogue between Houston's international business community and the city and government, and to jointly identify opportunities to promote the city of Houston globally, economically, educationally, and tourism. Linda has facilitated business-to-business networks that support the continued development in Africa, and we are so delighted to have her once again on our show.
She can be regular, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. She's a tall regular, but she's going to be regular.
Well, everybody's tall to me. Yeah.
Because we did a show last year, and then we did a remote broadcast
Right.
from the Houstonian of the Nigerian Content Investment Forum.
Right, and that's
Which
what we're
coming again next
discussing.
week,
Is the
right?
2017 Nigeria Content
right.
Investment Forum.
And then we did the other conference.
It's taking place May 3rd at the Houstonian Hotel.
Why don't you let her tell you that?
Well, I'm just letting you know now,
Okay.
just in case you forgot.
Well, who's the other guy that had?
Well, this gentleman, my favorite, because I love his hat, is Mr. Hector Ikiobu, and he's the founder and executive director for Sweet Crude. He's written over 2,000 energy stories. I don't know how you have time to do that. And analyst publishes in local and international newspapers and newswire services. So, very esteemed
And they
individual.
both, was it a year ago, both on the show?
That's right.
Okay.
Several times.
So this isn't a rerun, in case you're watching the video on Mr. Hector's website. This is a brand new one. He's not wearing his scarf, that's how you know. And we're in a whole different place now. So anyway,
And we have other guests in the room, but they're not going to talk on
No.
the air.
do you want to tell us who they are? I assume you
I'll
know.
let Mr. Hector tell.
Okay. Who
Scoot
might
over
be?
a little bit. We'll maybe get you on camera. Scoot in.
on camera.
Okay.
He's on camera, right?
Scoot over here. Scoot in. There we go.
That's Reti Ola Agunleti. She works with Sweet Crude. And that's Mr. Nkem Igbikiowo. He's GM for Sweet Crude in Nigeria. He also anchors our motoring pages. So they're both here for the OTC and for the NCIF.
Is he related to you? Because he has the same last name.
Yes, he is. He's related to me. He's actually my younger brother.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's very nice.
Now, for those who are not familiar with the OTC, that might be viewing this video from somewhere else outside of Houston or Texas, what's the OTC all about? Linda? Offshore Technology Conference.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's big, every year.
Annually, yes, in Houston during May. I believe another one is held in Brazil in the fall. But for OTC to be in Houston, it's almost mandatory since Houston
One of our
is
biggest conferences we host
Yes.
a year.
For the energy capital, yes.
Yes, it is.
Should be here. And we have in 2020 coming the World Petroleum Congress, which is also another big one.
So what's
That's
the,
normally done in the Middle East, I believe.
so what's the significance of your conference at the same time?
Very significant. It's important because with the international community coming into Houston, with the NCIF taking place at the same time, it gives a great opportunity to bring in the local Houston oil and gas companies to connect with the companies visiting from Nigeria through all services, not just manufacturing. So.
What all the overtures? What have you had to do to prepare for this, and how are you, and who are you inviting?
Okay, so well, the key invitees for the NCIF are original equipment manufacturers willing to work or collaborate with local Nigerian SMEs. The second component is also presenting Nigeria on a platform that will allow potential investors to explore, to learn more on how they can enter the country. So.
And who do you want to come and visit y'all at this event?
Like I said, I would say at least a good variety. Not just the oil and gas. I mean, funding agencies, the individual investor is also key, to come into this event, because with NCDMB, which is the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, they're coming in to present on local content. So for investors and companies or even OEMs willing to explore Nigeria, it's a good opportunity to hear from that agency.
I know in the past there have been problems and people had investing in Nigeria. Tell us about how they're taking efforts to make sure everybody is vetted and that participates.
The challenges. I'm going to let Mr. Hector take over that one.
Well, there's always been challenges. Challenges come in various forms. You have country risk. You have security concerns. You have all manner of challenges tied to investing in Nigeria. So what the board has done is seize the moment. You do not have the OTC taking place every other day. The OTC takes place once every year. I'm talking about the Offshore Technology Conference. So it presents a veritable opportunity for the board to come out here and explain to prospective investors what it's all about. You'll recall last year we touched on this. The board is not only promoting, it's not just promoting all commerce, it is identifying SMEs that have been vetted, SMEs that are not fly-by-night companies, companies with pedigree who are already on ground, functioning, and they're vouching for them. Say, you can do business with these companies. That is how they take care of the concerns over are these companies real? And when we talk about country risk, it will always be there. But you'd recall we've had an election, we have a new government in place, and issues around concerns over fidelity of contracts, will the agreements be respected, and all of that has been addressed, and they are still being addressed. They will continue to be addressed. So the whole essence of the NCIF is basically to address concerns. You know, those who have concerns can't afford to sit back in the confines of their offices, their homes. They have to come out there, attend the NCIF, and air whatever concerns they have. That's the only way it can be addressed.
Wonderful. That's. Tell me though, what are the different? Are there going to be different speakers going on? Different aspects that are going to be.
Yes, we will have several speakers. Luckily, the inaugural NCIF had the commercial section of the U.S. Embassy in attendance. That was in 2015. Last year they were also in attendance, and this year they will be in attendance. You have a new commercial attaché, Brent Undal. He will be there with his team. We will have a presentation from the chairman of PETAN, Mr. Bankantoni Okorafor. PETAN is the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria. They're a collection of several SMEs. You know, we will have even a local oil exploration and production company in attendance. That's ITO. At the moment, they are doing about 100,000 barrels a day.
Wow.
They bought over a Shell prospect, a Shell block that had gone down to as low as 20,000 barrels a day. They took it over, and they've built production up to 100,000 barrels a day. So they will share their experience with attendees and let original equipment manufacturers out here understand what the possibilities are. We're going to have a presentation from the Bank of Industry, that's the BOI in Nigeria. They've gotten involved in the management of the Nigerian Content Intervention Fund. The Nigerian Content Intervention Fund is a $600 million plus fund, and they're going to be telling OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers here, what the possibilities are if they got involved in Nigeria. And they're going to have access to capital, how they're going to gain this access. We're going to have, we also have been in touch with the principal at XWorks Capital, Gary Paez, and he's going to be telling both original equipment manufacturers and small and medium enterprises in Nigeria what the possibilities are regarding obtaining financing locally here in the United States. We are also going to have in attendance the CEO and Managing Director of First Bank. First Bank of Nigeria is one of the biggest banks in Africa. He's going to be doing a presentation on what the possibilities are regarding collaboration around local content and how to grow it. Of course, the board, the Nigerian Content Development Monitoring Board, will be in attendance. We're going to hear from the Executive Secretary of the board, Mr. Simbi Wabote. We're also going to hear from his technical people. They're going to be bringing us up to speed on the NOGAPS scheme.
NOGAPS.
NOGAPS is the Nigerian Oil and Gas Park scheme. It's a scheme that will see original equipment manufacturers from out of here who are interested in investing in Nigeria enjoy certain commercial benefits, preferential treatments, land, tax breaks, and stuff like that. So we're also going to hear from a gentleman who has made a success of monetizing gas in Nigeria. Nigeria is a gas heaven. You have over 180 trillion standard cubic feet of gas reserve in Nigeria. We have
A lot more than we have in our house.
We have more gas reserve.
Don't listen to her.
We have more gas reserve than we have crude oil reserve. The gas reserve in Nigeria is estimated to it can last beyond 120 years.
Wow.
So this gentleman has been able to monetize it. He produces CNG, and he's going to share his experience with us, how he's been able to monetize these gas resources. And it's a bumper package. It's simply grown from the NCIF we set out to put together to something that is a must attend for those who are naysayers, for those who have misgivings about Nigerian investment there. You have people who have invested. You have people who are still investing, and they're going to share their own experiences on what they've been able to accomplish. So even if you're not interested in investing in Nigeria right away, it wouldn't hurt to simply come and listen, and come away with information. Information, they say, is power. So that's
How-
why
Again, it'll be the
How-
Houstonian.
Yep, I know.
Yes.
But my question is,
What?
how can people reach you and reserve a spot to come?
Yes, they can visit the website www.ncif.com. .ng. If they have any questions, if they scroll down to the bottom of the home page, they'll see a contact number and contact emails. Definitely for manufacturers, we are giving out complimentary admission to, as an incentive for them to attend, but anyone can attend. The registration is listed on the website.
One more time, that website,
www.ncif.com.ng.
.ng.
Nigerian Content Investment Forum, NCIF.
Yes.
And then one more is, let's say someone wants to have an appointment with some of these people coming into speaking. Can
That's
they do,
open.
that's open, that
Yes.
people can set that up?
Yes.
yes.
That's wonderful.
And we had a lot of VIPs that when we did a remote broadcast last year to Houstonian. I mean, we probably had 6 or 8 different groups at least that we interviewed individually. I imagine it'd be the same thing
Yes.
this
Yes.
time. Yes.
You're going to have a lot more people this time around.
Maybe we should start the day before. No, I'm kidding. No, we gained a lot of great information on that. We did that as almost like separate broadcasts. So now we can merge it all together this time. Jerome will do that, right?
Right?
So, how many people are you expecting?
Oh my goodness. 150, maybe 170.
And what time does all this roll out?
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yes.
So you told Barbara to be there by noon, so she's gonna get there on time, right? And
Why don't you
we'll-
came over the day before, Ron?
Yeah, it's on your calendar too.
On my
You
calendar,
can
okay.
take a look at
That's
it.
good.
And we'll be doing a remote broadcast, and I guess we'll have the profiles of who we'll be talking to,
Yes.
and we'll have to keep those.
Well, the Houstonian's a lovely venue to have that.
Yes.
Very
They've
nice.
been quite nice as well.
Tell me, how will this collaboration help with Nigeria?
The Nigerian economy 2 years ago was rebased, and it became the largest economy in Africa. The Nigerian economy continues to grow. We all know it's an oil-based economy, so whenever there's a downturn in oil prices, it affects the GDP. There is a conscious effort to move the economy away from oil, as it were. That's dependency. When we have collaborations of the sort we're trying to encourage, you're going to have manufacturing peak. You're going to have engineering activities scaled up, as it were. So that will help grow the economy. It's also good for the U.S. economy. At the moment, you have a brain drain going on from there to here. You have a lot of people, skilled manpower, leaving Africa, leaving Nigeria, and coming over here, contributing to the economy here, and as it were, populating the space. So if we have this kind of collaboration take place, we will have created a base there for people to stay back, as it were, contribute there. And companies from out of here looking to expand their horizon, grow their books, will also have an opportunity to grow their books. So it's a win-win situation, for both sides of the divide.
So, what would you say you'd be so pleased if you accomplished this one goal from this conference? What would it be?
One goal from this conference will be to come away with one naysayer, just one naysayer, saying, yes, I understand. Yes, I understand Nigeria better. It's not all dark. It's not all gloom. We understand. We have a clearer picture.
It's about,
Then we would have
it's about
succeeded.
education.
Yes.
It's what they think they
And-
know
and
versus
build-
what
and
they
building
really find
confidence.
out.
Yes.
Right?
Building confidence
Yes.
in what y'all done and all this, and it is government based,
Yes.
and so they're sticking their neck out to
Yes.
say we've vetted these people, and I think that's very admirable.
What were you most pleased with last year? What changes came about as a result of the conference last year?
Last year, I would say I'll say two things. One, I was able to catch a glimpse of the Patan presentation. He was able to present the good and the bad, but what I liked about his presentation was that some of the attendees that were from here were able to understand that, oh, okay, I get it. The
Good.
second thing was the matching session. That during the NCIF, we, instead of just putting on an event, we try to set aside time for OEMs to actually meet with the SMEs. And sometimes when you go to conferences, you just see people all over the place exchanging cards, but nothing really never happens. So to actually put them in the same room, that was a step, closer to.
And you'll
goal.
be doing the same this year.
Yes.
Kind of making a
Even stronger. We're going to get
matchmaking,
stronger.
huh?
Yeah.
Like a marriage matchmaking with each
We're going to
other.
actually start them off by putting them sitting together
Yes.
while the conference is going on.
That's smart.
Yeah.
You could
People
do
tend to-
speed dating with each one of them.
Yeah. Collect their profiles.
Indeed. How long did this conference last?
It's 3 to 6
Mhm.
3 to 6. That's
That's
3 hours.
3
It covers
hours.
all that, and then some.
with
Mhm.
food
With food.
With food too.
or
That's a-
refreshments.
If you feed them, they will come, right?
Mhm.
All right. And are most of these people visiting? Are they
It's
here
half
for the
and half.
conference? Or are we about half and half?
It's
Some
half and half.
are local and involved with the energy industry here.
Yes.
So, what is that, Barbara?
Well, at the event, are you having any, it's just strictly all meetings and talking? Any other things that people might want to be aware of that are going to be, anything else that might,
Like entertainment?
entertainment? Yeah.
No.
There's us. There's us, right?
It's you.
We can go a couple rounds if you want.
Yeah, I'd win. No, I didn't know if there was any introductions of other people's local people that are not involved in oil and gas, but maybe people doing things.
Well, Jerry Paez, that he mentioned, Exports Capital, they're actually coming from Chicago, and they are in the finance world. So
Yeah.
they're not necessarily oil and gas. I believe there's another lady, Dr. Ann.
Yes, Anne-Marie Hansraj runs O Hansraj Financial Consulting Services from out of TNT. She's in Argentina at the moment. She'll be coming for the program. They've taken an active interest in Nigeria and the possibilities for financing projects in Nigeria. So they'll also
That's
be in
exciting.
attendance. Yeah.
Who are some of the companies that are your sponsors of this event? Who's
Sponsors.
helping you make it happen?
Who are
Well, Sweet
partners?
Crude, obviously, right?
Sweet Crude, there's Niger Doc, there's The Guardian, Then, of course, NCD&D being the main partner. I'm missing one.
There is the
Let me
oil
look
and
it up.
gas
Wait, it's here in the
year.
magazine. It's a different day, right?
There's the oil and gas year. It's also a magazine. There's ARCO Group. ARCO is a local contracting firm. This year there's also an addition. We have, sorry I haven't mentioned small business today.
Are they going to be there too? Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
they're going to be there too.
I was hoping he'd remember
And,
that. Good.
We have, we'll be having a dinner on that's the next day,
No.
on Thursday, and the dinner is being hosted by Bristol Helicopters. Yeah.
Bristol helicopter.
Yes.
Wow.
Where's the dinner gonna be? Can I come?
Yeah, you can come.
This is
You can come.
It's an exclusive invite, but yes.
Oh.
She get you, babe. See how she works her way
That one
right
they
in
can't
there.
register for.
They
Is
can't
that, is
register.
that, is that also the Estonian?
Yes. It
Okay.
is.
The keynote speaker is, what is the keynote speaker's name?
Simbi Kessie Wabote. Simbi is the executive
Kessie Wabote.
secretary of the NCDMB. He's had an illustrious career with Shell. He was with them for over 20 years. And he rose to, I think, the position of director. He's the current executive secretary, so he's vast in local content issues. He's been the lead on local content projects from the Middle East to different Shell locations around the world. So he'll be presenting the keynote address.
What do you think his message is going to be focusing on?
Nigeria is open to investments.
Very key.
It's very,
We're open and the lights on, right? Come on down.
Nigeria is open to investments.
Any
it's
success
not
stories
just-
from last year, Linda, that you can think of? You don't have to mention specific names. Anything that did, as a result of the conference last year, this is what happened. You probably covered it already.
Yeah, we've had successes. I'd say as a result of the conference last year, for instance, we had Heritage Bank organize what do you call it now? Heritage Bank got us to organize an
Fundraising.
information session on capital raise here in Houston. They were looking to raise about $250 million. We've had companies from out of here in Houston reach out to us, making inquiries on how to go about taking advantage of the NOGAP scheme. I'd say these are ongoing discussions. Nothing has been concretized yet because as a result of the change in government in Nigeria, we've had changes at the board. The executive secretary of the board has changed from last year to this year.
Okay.
You know, this guy just came on board in November. So when you have changes, like you have a change in government here in the United States, you know, you have policy slowdown on some fronts, policy reversals on some fronts. It's the same thing with Nigeria. We've had to cool our heels, say, okay, is this government all for this program? And what has happened is that the government has endorsed it. So we support the Nigerian content development policy. We support the efforts to get OEMs to do business with SMEs. So the government is all for it.
That's great.
They've given it a ringing endorsement, and that's why we still have the NCIF taking place this year. So
That's nice to know when you have a new administration
Mhm.
coming in, they're on
In
board.
addition to the strong private sector that comes over, because a lot of interest too that has come this year is the free trade zone that's associated with Niger Dock.
Mhm.
You spoke with them last year,
Yes.
Monsieur.
Mhm.
So when they see that the private sector that's involved with NCIF is strong, it gives good credibility as well.
Mhm.
So the interest has really increased in regards to that as well.
True.
Let's repeat the when, where, and
Yeah,
why.
and again, the
It's always good
website,
to keep repeating that.
Canner.
So again, the Nigerian Content Investment Forum will hold next Wednesday, May 3rd, 3 to 6 p.m. Registration takes place at www.ncif.com.ng.
There you go. Is there a cost to
Yes.
participate? Okay.
$250 per person for admission. Again, original equipment manufacturers or in companies who have a service in the oil and gas industry can still reach out to us to see if they qualify for complimentary admission.
And that would be awesome to have more of those there.
And that's on the website. Again, what's the website?
www.ncif.com.ng.
Excellent. What do we do? We hit all the questions?
I'm not sure. What I really want to know is, we're talking different things and we're going around, but what's the most important thing that we want to make sure that our listeners know, our viewers and listeners know, that we have not maybe covered?
Well, I think we've covered all we need to cover. It's an opportunity knocking. It doesn't come around every other day. When you have serious-minded people come out to tell you what they represent and what the opportunities are, the least you can possibly do is pay them a listening ear. We have our challenges. Challenges will go away overnight, but there are inherent opportunities therein, and we think the least that can happen is seize those opportunities. What have they got to lose?
Yeah, to hear them out, because
Hear us out.
sometimes, like for example, when you're inviting companies to join a trade mission, they're very skeptical, but now you actually have representation coming to you.
Mhm.
I think you should just come.
I want to know why did you get involved in doing this in the first place?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I want to be a part or participate in some way in contributing to the development of Nigeria. I do think as a country, it has very wide opportunity, not just oil and gas, agriculture, real estate. I mean, it's so much that you can do in a place like Nigeria.
When you talk about real estate, what potential are there for real estate?
Because it's available land
Available?
out there.
So would that be for commercial, but also residential, or what?
Everything that you can think of, even if you just want to build a plant,
Um,
just anything.
So would like somebody involved in real estate here would this be a good event for them to go and connect with people?
If they want to create a type of collaboration that would increase tourism, yes.
We know people.
We know people that are certified international property specialists, and that's the CIPS.
Multilingual. And
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be welcome. Basically, if you go to the website www.ncdmb.gov.ng, you can read up on the NOGAPS scheme. The NOGAPS scheme has opportunities for real estate development. It's an oil and gas
It does.
park that's being set up by the board. You have provision there for hotels, office buildings, and you name it, spread across different parts of the country. So there are opportunities there for real estate developers.
Now, I know Sweet Crude is your company.
Yes.
How are you benefiting by being part of this?
That's a beautiful question.
I was going to ask that first.
That's a beautiful question. You see, Sweet Crude is a publications outfit. We're publishers, and we focus specifically on energy-related news, oil and gas. Now, oil and gas business may take place in Nigeria, but we know it's not just local. It's an international concern or enterprise that has local dealings, as it were. So the only way we can drive information, get to the bottom of reporting the news as it affects us in that part of the world, is to encourage this kind of fora where we can get people to talk to themselves, where we can be the point of contact for the first information. So when we have collaborations, we're able to put it out there. We have primacy over the information. So that's part of why we're driving it, and we see that reality check Nigeria has an image problem. So the only way we can try to give back in some way is to, as much as possible, address the image problem. This is our own way. This is our own contribution towards addressing that image problem.
That's
So
wonderful.
that's why we're involved.
And it helps.
Yes, it does.
Now, when did it start? What you're doing?
Conference.
The conference
Is this
begin?
the third one?
Is this the
This is the
This is the
third?
third one. Yeah.
Same time,
So-
every year.
What do you see had from the first one to this one? How do you see things have changed?
Yes, I mean, even just looking at the agenda this year, you've gotten more agencies involved versus just NCD&B. You have the Department of Petroleum Resources. You have
We have the Department of Petroleum Resources. We have the Bank of Industry. You have an understanding from the Nigerian end that this is a veritable platform, to come and air the views and let outsiders understand what's going on back home. When you have the commercial section of the U.S. Embassy gets involved, not once, not twice, but the third time, it tells you, hey, come on, there's something going on here. It
I would
tells
say,
you,
what's a clue look like?
exactly. So I'd say we've gotten somewhere, and we hope to build on it, continue to grow it. We didn't set out to profit from this. We believe you need to give back. That's the only way you can really get back.
That's our philosophy.
That's our
as well.
philosophy. Every cover honoree that's nominated to be on the cover, that's one of the criteria. They have to be somebody that gives back.
Okay.
And I think that
Whether they do it because it's part of their branding, or whether they do it just because it's the right thing to do with no publicity, that's what we look for to cover honoree. And I think even youth entrepreneurs, like our little friend Bryce Michael Everhard, with Valairs for Men, he already stands at 10 years old.
the
They're
bow tie.
giving back, and the
he makes the bow ties, the flower lapel pins,
lapel
and the
pins,
pocket squares.
but that 30% has to go to charity.
Mhm.
He figured that out on his own.
Good.
So, and what was the story today with,
Bishop
With
Oscar,
little
Peyton,
Oscar.
little Oscar, his father died, Bishop Oscar Peyton,
2
our
months
friend.
ago?
And the little boy wanted to make sure that everybody comes into the coffee shop, that they're going to be giving baskets and stuff. That was the purpose of Oscar Peyton's business, was to coffee with a cause. Is the thing
And he's
gives back
6
to.
years old, he's
Yeah,
figured
he
this out.
figures out, yeah.
He's 6.
He wants to give back to battered women and their children, and have so that's what they were doing, is getting
Wow.
I think in
donations.
today's business world, I think more people understanding the benefits of philanthropy and why it's important that that's part of your business model. So the fact that you give generously back and want Nigeria to grow, and the energy companies here and the manufacturers to get together and see it really is a viable alternative, and it's right now it's smart business
Yes.
to do that. And I hope this conference accomplishes more than the last two combined. And Small Business Today magazine is proud to be a media sponsor once again, and to do the remote broadcast next Wednesday. I'll have to get set up in time, Jerry. And I think, yeah. So
And also, but also if people want to get a copy of our magazine, they go to.
that's right. Been a
www.
long time since I did this.
I know.
You go to our website, sbtmagazine.net or smallbusinesstodayMagazine.com, and you can read all of the back issues are up on the website, archived there. And the best part of the magazine, of the cover
Is the
story,
takeaway notes.
which
the
was
last,
totally my idea at the time.
Liar, liar, pants on fire was my idea. And if you don't want to sit and read how the person started with nothing and built something big, their last page is their do's and don'ts of business. And I say if you go back to every story, and you can make a Bible of business, a compendium of business do's and don'ts, just from that last page of every cover story. And it's free online, sbtmagazine.net or smallbusinesstodayMagazine.com.
Or if you want to subscribe and you want a hard copy subscription at $99 a year, it's well worth it. People are really appreciating having a quality piece in their hand that they can read at their leisure, because your attention span is so short and there's so many other distractions online.
Your attention span especially short.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? that more people want to subscribe to the hard copy. We're happy to send it to them at $99 a year. And really that doesn't of it, let alone posted. So
We have a few minutes left. What do you do with Ms. Anuki and Mr. Ikbia-Wubo?
With Sweet Crew.
Let's see, Crude.
Oh.
I cover the Abuja branch of Sucrude. I work with Oscar Lin, is also a colleague in Abuja. So we handle our Sucrude business in Abuja.
Wonderful.
Nigeria.
And then how do you help at Sweet Crude?
this is brother.
His brother,
Baby brother?
baby brother?
No good, okay.
I cover marketing beats. I also write motoring stories. Basically everything that has to do with the marketing process for Sweet Crude up till this moment. So
He's also been.
And now you're a media spokesman, yes?
And he's also been very involved in handling the SMEs on the Nigerian side for the program.
Marvelous. And I think it's nice to work with your family, even though I don't like my husband, it's nice to work with him.
Linda, if you want to fill in sometime, you and I could, co-host the show. What time do we go on the air next Wednesday? Was it 3? We start doing interviews at 3?
Yes.
Yes.
3 to, basically it'll be throughout the entire program. We'll be pulling them out one by one, but 3 to 6 p.m.
And you'll give us a lineup and also how to pronounce the names, I hope. Just, spell it out
I
there.
have problems.
Sounds
I
like.
do okay.
Yes, you do.
I do all right, right?
Yes, you do.
You do?
Well, this has been a great show. We thank both Linda and Mr. Hector for being here and their associates. And we will be back with that remote broadcast next week, next Wednesday at 3 o'clock, if everything's plugged in correctly, right?
Right, right.
And,
And one more time,
The website is
Yes.
www.ncif.com.ng.
be there. It definitely is a wise investment of your time, and you'll find out what a wise investment is to invest
Yes.
in Nigeria. And thank you, Jerome Davis, our engineer extraordinaire, also our videographer with our new equipment.
and also Injured Federal Workers Advocacy Association
for giving us the opportunity to use the conference room.
That's
There
right.
you go. And you've been listening to the Small Business Today Magazine Talk Show
On the SBT Magazine Radio Network.